All right, Raider Nation, today we're going to break down the Raiders versus Colts, what the Raiders need to do, and how good are the Colts or not. All that and more on today's episode of the Raider D podcast. Guys, it is crunch time for the Las Vegas Raiders. We all know that. We lose one more game, and it's pretty much guaranteed we have no shot at a playoff run this year. We have to win this game. It is a must win, and we are going to be on the road at Indy. So, looking at a deep, in-depth research of the Colts, there are some red flags here and why I think the Raiders are not going to win this game and also why we just might win this game. So let's get into the stats today. First, let's talk about the Colts and who they are and who they've become. The Indianapolis Colts this year decided to bench Anthony Richardson, who is a supreme athlete, but just hasn't really grown into that NFL quarterback role as of yet. And they went with Daniel Jones, who was a free agent acquisition. Remember, he was a former quarterback for the New York Giants. Now, right now, the Colts are doing really good. They're 3-1 in the AFC South. Not saying a whole lot. It is the AFC South. But they're leading the AFC South right now. Offensive rank, no, they're not leading, but I think they're tied for second. Either way, they're up there at the top. Their offense is ranked third in total yards with 397 yards per game. They're ranked 17th in total yards allowed per game at 319, so they do give up some. Fourth in points per game at 30.8 points per game. And 12th in points allowed per game at 20.8. So they have the advantage there. Their turnover differential is tied fourth best in the NFL with a +4 turnover margin. Now, Daniel Jones, the former Giants quarterback, as I said, was named the starter over Anthony Richardson, and he is having the best year of his career thus far, completing 71.6% of his passes through 4 games. He has done a great job in protecting the ball with only 2 interceptions thrown on the year. He also has been incredibly tough and successful against the blitz, completing passes for high yards per attempt average when he was pressured. His key stat is Jones has thrown for 1,078 yards and has a combined 7 touchdowns, 4 passing and 3 on the ground. Remember, he is a mobile quarterback, so our defense is going to have to be able to contain him. Offensive strength with the Colts obviously is Jonathan Taylor, their number 1 running back. He is a beast. He is in fact leading the NFL right now with 414 yards. Remember though, our young beast he's top 7. He made up for with Sunday, so he's not too far behind. He's about 100 yards behind though. Defense is solid against the run, vulnerable against the pass. So this is going to be a big test for our offensive line and Ashton Jeanty. The defense is stout against the run, ranking 8th in the NFL in rushing yards allowed per game. However, the pass defense is more of a liability, ranking 22nd in the NFL in the league passing yards per game. They are opportunistic, ranking highly in turnover differential, which means we could see a repeat of what happened this past week with Geno Smith because they do have some ball hawks. Now, because they're opportunistic, they do give up some big plays, and that is why they are ranked 22nd. But if they catch us slipping, they will snatch that ball away. So Geno is going to have to play laser locked on target and cannot make any crazy passes or it's going to cost us the game. Now, before we get to the Raiders, I want to say thank you to Box House for being a sponsor of the Raider D podcast. Without Box House, it's really difficult to make these videos because let's be honest, YouTube don't pay nothing. So Box House is fantastic, but I say that wholeheartedly because I've actually done business with them before they became a sponsor, before they even knew about my YouTube channel, right? And so if you guys are looking for a tiny house and you can't afford a regular house in this day and age, that's fine. Tiny houses are a great way to live. I live in one personally myself, and it's fantastic. And what they have over there at Box House is amazing. Great product lineup, and their customer service is the best in the business. They have extremely competitive pricing, and they'll deliver anywhere in the country. Give them a call. Phone number's on the screen, and link is down in the description. Now let's talk about some Raiders. Let's talk about what the Raiders need to do to maximize the ability to win this game, because if they don't, they will lose this game, and they will lose it badly. First and foremost, our defensive line is going to have to put a stop to Jonathan Taylor. His reign of terror in the NFL comes to an end this Sunday against Max Crosby and the rest of our defensive line. If they don't, if this dude gets over 100 yards, we're going to be pretty hard pressed to win this game, because they will control and dictate the clock, and they will keep our offense off of the field. The other thing that the Raiders need to do is we really need to protect Geno Smith and the football. And I think that the Raiders did a decent job of that with the offensive line last week. However, now with Colton Miller being gone for the foreseeable future, possibly the rest of the season, it remains to be seen what the Raiders are going to be able to do on that left tackle position, whether or not that's going to be a liability. But Geno Smith needs to eliminate all of these mistakes. Right now, he has 7 interceptions in 4 games that have plagued the team, especially in the red zone. The Colts are excellent at generating takeaways with a +4 differential. The Raiders need to unleash Ashton Jeanty again. And I think that they need to really focus on getting him out in space with designed screenplays and little out routes, little hook routes. Get him some designed passing, catching plays, because when he's out in space and he's up against a safety or a corner trying to come down and tackle him, he's a nightmare. When he's going up against defensive tackles and our offensive line isn't opening up a hole, he's going to get taken down because he's too small. He's not big enough or powerful enough to get through those defensive tackles and break those. But once he gets past them, he's an absolute phenom, and he's going to do great. So Raiders need to use more screenplays, get the ball into their playmaker's hand. The next thing that the Raiders need to do is get the ball back into the hands of Brock Bowers. I don't know why we're throwing it all over the place into basically people's hands it shouldn't be thrown into right now, like Dante Thornton Jr., who's going to be good, but he's not ready yet. Give him a couple of those deep shots down the field per game, and let your guys who are veterans, even if they're only second-year veterans like Brock Bowers, let them feast, because they are superstars. Brock is a superstar. Get him the ball, feed him the ball, make those really accurate passes, intermediate. You don't have to hit the home run every single time, and we'll have a lot better of a chance of winning this game. If we can do that, if we can control the clock instead of letting them do it, we've got a better chance at winning. Now, maximize Max Crosby, because if you maximize Max Crosby by utilize him all over that line, like the Raiders did last week, he is a game wrecker. He's going to get into Daniel Jones' face, a guy he's played against before, and he absolutely wrecks Daniel Jones. Daniel's been doing great this year, but he hasn't been up against Max Crosby. And once Max Crosby gets going, look out, it's lights out, it's a done deal. Max is going to get there. He's going to get pressures. He's going to get touches, and he's going to get a sack. So unleash Max Crosby, and the Raiders should be able to get through this game with a close victory. If we fail in any one of those 4 things, the Raiders lose this game, and we lose it in embarrassing fashion. And if that happens, watch for some trades to take place. The Raiders will get rid of Jacoby Myers. He's on a 1-year deal anyway, and our hopes of a playoff game is over. We're done. So watch for him to get traded. Watch for the talk of Max Crosby trade to start coming up. Now, I don't think that that's going to happen, but watch how all of the talk, mark my words, how all of the talk is going to be about Max Crosby being traded to the Detroit Lions like we had a couple of years ago. Until next time, guys, just win, baby. Let's go, Raiders.